Have you ever felt like you can't be a good parent? Have you ever felt like you've tried and you've tried and you've tried and you just don't know if you're ever going to get this parenting thing down? Well, I used to feel that way as well. In fact, I was convinced I couldn't be a good parent. Then I read a book called How to Talk So Your Kids Will Listen and Listen So Your Kids Will Talk by Faber and Maslish. And there should be a link at the bottom of this video showing you how to get to that book and how to order it. I would encourage you to do so. The book is well written, it's well organized, it's easy to understand, it's got great stories, it has powerful principles, it has a cartoon section in the middle of each chapter giving examples of how these principles are applied. And it has a brief summary at the end of each chapter so that you can catch at a glance what you've learned in the chapter. In fact, my wife and I photocopied those summaries from the book after we went through it, and we pasted them up inside our kitchen cupboard so that we could see them every day and remind ourselves of those principles. And so today we're going to start by talking about how to help kids handle their feelings. How to help kids handle their feelings. As we all know, kids aren't fantastic, and many adults are not experts at managing their emotions. Kids even less so, because that part of their brain that helps them think logically and think through consequences to their behavior is not fully developed. In fact, not until you're around 20, 21, 22 does that part of your brain get fully developed. So kids need our help in walking them through how to manage their emotions. But let me ask you a question. What are some ways that we frequently as parents respond to our kids' emotions, especially if we consider them negative emotions or inappropriate expressions of their emotions? What are some ways that we commonly respond to them? There are some common things, and some examples are included in the book. Let's just say, for example, you have a new baby in the family, and your young child says, "I don't like the new baby." What's a typical way parents might respond to that? It might be that they deny the feeling. "What do you mean you don't like the new baby? Of course you like the new baby. This is your new little baby brother. This is your beautiful baby sister. Of course you love her." That's denying their feeling. Let's say you went to a lot of work to provide a wonderful birthday party experience for your child. And at the end of the day, they say, "That was a dumb party." Again, a typical way of responding to that is denying their feeling. "What do you mean it was a dumb party? Your friends were here, you played great games, you got wonderful gifts. It wasn't a dumb party, it was a wonderful party." Denying our kids the way they feel is a very common way of responding to their expression of emotions. Another example might be, child says, "I'm not wearing this stupid retainer anymore. It hurts, and I don't care what the orthodontist says." Typical response from a parent might be, "I paid a lot of money for that retainer, and you're going to wear it." Or it might be, "Oh, it doesn't hurt that bad, and just think of the wonderful teeth you're going to have when you're all done wearing it." Again, we're simply denying their feelings. The first principle that Faber and Maslish offer for helping our children deal with their feelings is, instead of half listening, give them our full attention. So they have a cartoon in the middle of the book, and it has a little boy entering into the living room where his father is watching a sports program on TV. And the little boy says, "Eric punched me. So, Daddy, do you hear me?" And the father says, "I can hear you, go on," while he continues to look at the television. And the little boy says, "So I hit him back. Then he hit me again. Are you listening, Daddy?" The father says, I'm listening to every word while remaining engaged with the television. The little boy says, no, you're not. And the father says, I can listen to you and watch the game at the same time. Go on. The little boy says, oh, forget it. Now, more effective way to do that would be when your child is expressing something of their emotions to you, really sad, really angry, really happy and joyful, um, angry, other expressions of emotion. We want to give them our full attention. That means whatever we're doing, if at all we can stop doing it immediately, switch it off, close it up, put it down, and turn and give full eye contact to our children. That might mean kneeling down to their level, or pulling them up on our lap, or just simply turning in their direction. But giving them their full attention. They give a positive example here. The little boy comes in and says, Eric punched me, so Daddy, do you hear me? The father reaches over, turns off the TV, turns his full attention to his son, doesn't say anything, but the boy continues. So I hit him back. Then he hit me again even harder. He's mean. The father just puts his hand up to his chin and nods, and the boy continues on. You know what? I'm not going to play with Danny from now on. I'm going to play with Danny from now on. He doesn't go around punching people. And so the point is, it doesn't always turn out this miraculously well every single time. But when you get in a habit of giving your child their full attention and just listening and allowing them to verbally process, they often come to the solution on their own. In fact, that's true for adults too. In fact, that's a lesson I had to learn as a newlywed, as a husband who loved my wife when she first was coming to me with crying and problems and strong emotions. My immediate natural reaction was to try and solve those problems for her. Well, imagine my consternation when she didn't appreciate that as much as she appreciated just letting her vent, just being a safe person where she could honestly express her emotions. And whenever I did that, and whenever I do that, she almost always comes to a good solution on her own. Imagine that. And so it's true for our children as well. When we can be a safe person with whom they can honestly express their emotions, they will often come to a satisfactory solution themselves. So although this is a very simple principle, instead of half listening, give them your full attention. It can be very difficult for us because for the most part in our culture, we're not good listeners, whether it's parents listening to kids or adults listening to adults. We just don't live in a culture with good listening. But it's very simple. All you have to do is listen. Try it and see what happens. And again, try it over a period of time. Don't try it once and say, well, that didn't work. Chances are, if you try it, it's going to shock them so much they don't even know how to solve their own problem. They're so shocked you're listening to them. But listening, and maybe even just giving a word of response or a sound. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yes, uh-huh, and you will be amazed at the number of times they can come to a solution on their own. Next time we'll talk about helping teens deal with their feelings.